What happened in Venezuela?
President Donald Trump said Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro was captured and flown out of the country by U.S. troops and law enforcement authorities. Footage on social media captured a series of blasts in the capital Caracas, while jets were seen flying over the city at around 2 a.m. local time. Venezuela has declared a national emergency and said it will resist the presence of foreign troops. Trump will hold a press conference later today with more details to follow, and we'll keep you updated on that.
For months, I have been saying that the U.S. was not going to invade Venezuela, that the U.S. was not going to attack Venezuela, that the U.S. did not have what it takes to go to war with Venezuela. The reality is that the U.S. did not invade Venezuela. No, they did not. They didn't even attack Venezuela. What happened last night is that the U.S. was invited by traitor in the army of Venezuela. So all this time that the U.S. was, so-called, putting pressure on Venezuela, they were negotiating with generals, right? People in charge of the army, people in charge of the borders of Venezuela. They corrupted them, paid them money, and told them, look, all you need to do is to put your weapons down. We will come pick up your president. We will not have any wars, right? We will only take him and go with him, and the country will be free, right? And we will stop all these attacks. And those people fell for it, right? They took money. They were corrupted, right? This is the biggest treason a human being can do to his own countries. It is probably a handful of people who did this. They sold their country to the devil, and the United States, invited by them, they went ahead, put a show like they always do to try to show some type of strength, bomb a few areas, and then went and picked up Maduro from his palace and took him out. If that is true, this is the biggest treason human beings can do for their countries. My hope was that Venezuela was as united as Iran. This is a failed unity, completely failure. The good news here is that a war did not break out. Many people didn't die. Of course, with the bombing that happened, we have death. But at least a war did not break out. Not yet. Not yet. As of now, on Saturday morning, January the 3rd, and the Ministry of Defense came out talking about, we will defend any force that come into our country. They've already taken your president and you didn't do anything. What are you going to defend? Now, I can believe that he's probably not part of it, that he probably doesn't know, right? The vice president also came out and said, we want proof of life. All of them admitting that the president is missing. The only way they could have done this is by dividing the Venezuelan people. Where is all the weapons that they bought from the Chinese? They bought air defense system, all of that. How come none of those weapons responded to this attack? That clearly tells you that someone sold the country. This was a cowardly move by all of them. It was coward to sell your country, to be a traitor to your own country, to those generals who sold their country to the devil. It was a cowardly act by the United States themselves, right? All this time trying to show us that they have strength and all of that, and they could not go to war with Venezuela. So they needed a cowardly move like this for them to do a cowardly act like this and to go kidnap the president of a country and take them. And then now they want to use that to say, well, we can do this. We have force. No, you don't have force. All of you are cowards for doing this. A sovereign nation that did nothing to you, you got up and removed their president. And the reason why this act is huge and is the biggest act of treason that could ever happen into a nation is because the president was sold out. They sold their president out. The best thing they would have done is to go to the president and tell him, look, we have taken money from those people. We are corrupt. The devil is coming. Get on a plane and leave. At least that. Even when the president is the dictator, those people, they put their lives on the line, right? knowing very well that when something goes wrong, they will be the first to be blamed. And here's the president that has been sacrificed by his own people. A loss of dignity. What is it that we expect when we cannot make sacrifices for our future? These people have sold their dignity. What do you think that money will buy you? You will never be trusted again. We will know who are the biggest traitor of Venezuela. How can we talk about a multipolar world, building a new world, without sacrificing? When we don't have faith for our future, when we give in easily, how can we have independence without sacrificing? I couldn't have believed a minute that the unity of Venezuela would have been broken this way. We were so encouraged by the unity of Iran. Just look at both countries. This is the exact same thing they were trying to do to Iran. But Iran said no. They got up and responded. And today, Iran still stands, even with the protest that is taking place now, because this move in Venezuela will wake up the world. Those who are courageous will be even more courageous now. And the cowards will be even more cowards. This is a major disappointment. You cannot be angry at the US for what they're doing, because they've been doing this for years. We expect that from them. We expect this type of cowardly act for them. And the bad news for them, which is the good news for the world, is that this operation was not the same type of operation that we saw with Libya, that we saw with Iraq, that we saw. Why? Because their power is on a decline. They can no longer have those type of operations where they think they can just come in and start bombing. What they had to do for this operation to be successful, they had to find a small number of coward Venezuelans who were ready to take money to sell their country and to sell their fellow Venezuelan citizens. They can no longer invade countries with strength, because we saw what happened with Iran. And that is the good news, and that is the hope that we have. But nevertheless, this is disappointing. When I make predictions, it's because I have hope in people. I have hope in the future. I am positive for the future. It is easy for people to just come and sit down and say, look, Venezuela will fall, right? Bringing bad news to people. It is very easy. This is what the mainstream propaganda does every day. This is what most people do. I will not be one who doesn't have hope. I had hope in the unity of Venezuela. I'm not going to give in hope. Now, what is the next move? Is that the United States will expect that the same cowards who sold out Venezuela will not allow their puppets to come in and take over the country and all of the riches of the country. And what do you think they will give to the Venezuela people? What do you think you will get out of this? You're not going to get anything out of it. Nothing. Your case will be worse than what it was before. And most Venezuelans are now going to suffer even more while they watch the devil steal their riches, steal their oil on a daily basis, and destroy their country. Let me be clear with you. We cannot win without unity, without love with one another. And most importantly, when you have that love, that you put in sacrifices. No one succeeds without sacrificing. This is a dark day, not just for Venezuela, but for many of us who are fighting this unipolar world. But we need to understand one thing, is that even at that, we must have hope that things will get better. I thank God that at least for now, there hasn't been any wars in Venezuela, that we did not see many people dying. My heart goes out to all of those who died in this cowardly operation. And I hope, and I continue to hope strongly, that this is where the death stops.